So, and you ever watch Playboi Carti sets that are Rolling Loud, and you see the dudes Carti's with, and you wonder, who the fuck are these people? And what do they have to even do with Carti? And well, folks, I'm here to clear up your confusion. Let's take a look at Playboi Carti's mysterious friends. And now, starting with someone who actually has been a fan favorite recently because of his iconic way of announcing new Playboi Carti songs.
Carti dropping again! Tonight!
And he goes by the name Black Hane, now known as one of Carti's backup dancers. Black Hane grew up in Lancashire, Preston, where he actually began to explore contemporary dance in his teen years while taking interest in experimental music, and began being super passionate about Japanese fashion and music, and then developed the name Black Hane from the 1995 film La Haine, which actually does mean hatred breeds hatred. And the poster of the movie was actually likely used as a reference for Carti's antagonist poster, because as you can see, and they look pretty damn similar. Black Hane described his hometown as, unless you want to be a footballer or a gangster or something, there is nothing else to do really, so I just started writing. And this is where Black Hane grew a love for poetry and started jotting down whatever came to his head on his iPhone 3, and his friend, a Lancastrian artist, Rainy Miller, convinced him to actually turn his poetry into actual music. And he then sent acapellas of his poetry to Miller, who actually crafted eerie and metallic drill beats to complement Black Hane's dark meditations and rugged, almost spoken word flow. And this then birthed Black Hane's first debut EP called Armor, which actually was said by Black Hane it was more so focused on an emotion and wasn't really focusing on storytelling for this project. And he would then go on to drop more EPs until Miller formed a Black Hane live show along Manchester artist Crow. And we're at this show, he actually would showcase his unorthodox dance moves, and from here on then he actually would gain a lot more popularity. And even until Kanye's team reached out for Black Hane to choreograph at the Donda event in Chicago. And amen, this was absolutely huge at the time. And while building a relationship with Kanye, this also led him to be invited to the Donda 2 event where he choreographed with Carti. And from then, Carti and Black Hane became super close, and he was always seen with Carti at his shows, and where he actually gained more and more popularity, especially at the Rolling Loud show in LA, where, hey man, Black Hane was going absolutely crazy, bro. And the rest is pretty much history from there. But another one of Carti's mysterious friends who were also on stage alongside Carti and Black Hane during the Rolling Loud LA 2023, that is none other than Carti's best friend and creative director of Opium, Burberry Airy. And now growing up, Airy grew up with just his mother, who was constantly working, and he spent the majority of his childhood at the neighborhood skate park. And Airy wasn't really obsessed with skating and tricks and stuff. He was more so obsessed with the overall skating aesthetic, with his biggest inspiration being Bam Margera. And Airy loved the concept of the carefree punk rock star aesthetic, which Bam had definitely showcased. And he also gained a deep love for fashion, being inspired by Baja's, Debbie Harry, and Marilyn Manson, among several others. And Airy would post a lot of his skating clips online, which gained a lot of traction, even catching the attention of the late Virgil, who actually would DM him and say how much he messed with his aesthetic, and ask if he could send in his clothes to be featured in Airy's next videos. And Airy would actually skate in Virgil's off-white shoes, and man, these videos blew the fuck up, which also led Airy to actually get signed by StockX, and Airy would actually get paid by StockX by each video, even to a point where his videos got so viral, StockX would pay this man $10,000 per video, man. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, that shit is insane. But StockX and Airy would then part ways after Airy felt as if they were trying to make him a full-time skater, and when he was just doing it as a hobby and doing it more for the aesthetic. But in 2020, man, one DM changed everything, and that was from the man, the myth himself, Playboi Carti. And Carti hit up Airy saying how much he loved his videos and his aesthetic, which then led to them both connecting and Carti bringing him out at his virtual concert. And the two would get closer and closer to Airy even being Carti's personal stylist, as Carti really had respect for Airy's fashion sense. And ever since then, Airy is always with Carti on stage, always doing the most craziest shit with Black Hane, bro. And speaking of on stage, y'all might be wondering, who is that one guy always playing the guitar besides Carti when he's performing? Well, that, my friends, is none other than OJ, also known as Playboi Carti's guitarist. But for those who don't know, OJ is actually part of a group called OJ Volta, an American record production and songwriting duo. And the duo first gained popularity and working closely with John Billion, a UK artist, and they would then go on to produce songs for many other popular artists like Shawn Mendes, Halsey, Selena Gomez, and Justin Bieber. But most importantly, would produce one of the best songs of Whole Lotta Red, in my opinion, that being On That Time. And then going on to produce 19 songs off Kanye's Donda. And while building strong relationships with Ye and Carti, OJ would become Carti's guitarist during the King Vamp tour, which still goes down as one of the most legendary tours, and amen, OJ is still such a big part of that. So amen, hope this now clears up your confusion of who Carti's always with. Hey, make sure to like and subscribe for more Carti and Opium content. Amen, it's been Amchan, and I'm out. Peace.